Hello everyone, it's me Fathima Hudha Bedi. Now this is the second part of our public speaking series. Now in this particular video, I'm going to explain to you how exactly you can eliminate having a lot of body language leakages. Now what are body language leakages? When you're doing a public speech, what happens is that there's a high chance that you might be anxious. But even though you're anxious, what actually makes you look anxious is your body language. Because when you're anxious, there's a lot of body language leakages that happen, which makes you appear as if you're super anxious and that you're having a lot of butterflies. So what are these body language leakages that make you appear extremely underconfident? So I'm gonna explain to you all these, and I'm also going to tell you guys the solution to eliminate these leakages. So let's move on to the first body language leakage that we tend to have, which is swallowing. Now, if you swallow in the wrong time, then that makes you look super underconfident. So I'll give you a small example. In case if you're attending an interview and the interviewer asks you a question and then you're like, I think, if you start like that after swallowing, then that's an easy indicator of how underconfident that you are right now. So what you can do is you can look down and then swallow in case we want to swallow. So what happens is that if I'm like, say, talking to you guys, and then say if I'm on stage right now and I'm talking to a huge audience, then what I can do is I can act like I'm thinking and then I can look down and then swallow. So I can be like, so I think this is how you're supposed to answer it, like that. So looking down and swallowing is one tip I can give you in case if you want to swallow. Now, the second body language leakage that might happen is fidgeting. Now, fidgeting in the sense you're, making small movements with your hands or your legs, some people tend to tap their legs like that, or some people tend to be like, like that and all they'll do, like that and all they'll do. So when you do these sort of small fidgeting, or if you're like fidgeting a lot, then that is an easy indicator about your anxiety. So you don't want that happening, right? So definitely stop fidgeting. Don't do all these small movements with your hands or legs. You can consciously stop doing that. And if you stop doing that, then that makes a huge difference. Okay, that is one thing I want you to be conscious about, all the fidgeting that you're doing. Now, moving on to the third body language leakage, which is pursed lips. Now, when you're keeping your lips like too close like that, when you're keeping your lips in a pursed position, like that makes you look super awkward and weird. So you don't want that happening. I've seen people do that. So please don't do that. In case if you don't know how to keep your lips in a proper position, then at least keep it a little ajar. It's always better to keep your lips a little ajar. Ajar in the sense, keep it a little open, like that. So if you're pausing and then, if somebody from the audience is asking you a question, at that point of time, don't keep your lips like that. Don't keep your lips pursed when you're listening to that question. Rather, you can keep it a little ajar and you can be like, you can be in that position and then you can listen to the question from the audience's side. Now, that is one thing. And the next body language leakage that I've seen in a lot of people is blinky. Now, we all tend to blink a lot, but you're not supposed to excessively blink, because that is one problem that comes with anxiety. When you're too anxious, you tend to blink like that. Now, don't blink so much. You don't have to blink so much. Now, I know blinking is a very natural process. It's not that we always pay attention to how we're blinking, but always make sure that you're not blinking a lot when you're on stage. If you're paying attention to your blinking habits or your blinking rhythm, you can definitely make a difference in that. So if you're like somebody who's blinking like that, if it is because of a disease, I can understand. I mean, there's nothing to say. But if it is because of your anxiety, you have to pay attention to your blinking rhythm and then you can slow it down. Now, the next body language that is very common that I've seen with people who are really anxious on stage is fixating their gaze on somebody who they're really comfortable with among the audience. So I've seen my friends, like especially during school programs and all that, I've seen my friends go on stage and they just look at their mom or they look at their best friend and they just stare at them throughout the show because they're like not really comfortable looking at the entire audience. That makes them anxious that they're facing so many people. But that is really awkward. It is okay if you want to just stare at one person, if you want to fixate your gaze for a temporary while, if you just want to fixate your gaze at just one person at a time and then you can shift to different people, then it's still fine, because that makes there are people who find it really comfortable to just look at one person at a time and then keep changing the person that they're looking at when they're speaking. If you're comfortable doing that, you can do that, but don't fixate your gaze on just one single person throughout the show. It's always better to just sway your head once in a while and just look at the entire audience. That makes it, the audience can really connect with you when you do that. And that makes you look really confident. So when you're on stage, always make sure you're swaying your head like that. You're addressing every single person in the audience. You have to be giving them a connection, because you don't want anybody feeling like, why is she just staring at a wall, or at her mom or so. So that will easily make people understand that you are super anxious. The next point is stiffening your muscles. Now this is also another body language leakage that we all tend to have. When you have really stiff muscles, when you're like all uptight like that, like that, if you're standing, then definitely it's not comfortable for the other person to see as well. Like it is an easy indicator again of how anxious you are. So you don't want that happening. So what you can do is relax all your muscles, relax your facial muscles as well as your body muscles, and then talk. You have to be in a relaxed position in order to talk in a relaxed way. You can't be all uptight with your entire body, and you can't talk in a very comfortable way that way. So both of these they don't go together, they don't go in one hand. So you have to be physically relaxed in order to sound relaxed. Now I really hope this was helpful. Now these are the different body language leakages that we all tend to have once in a while, and I really hope the solutions that I've given work out for you also. In case if you want to know more about the course that we provide at English House, you can go ahead and click on the link below. Thank you so much for watching.
English House. English at your fingertips.